What's up, VC? Let's bring the energy. Let's get weird. Cheers. So the drink of the night, non-alcoholic, established 1926 from the Bluegrass State, Kentucky, if you didn't know, for you non-Yanks. This is non-alcoholic. It's a ginger soda. It's imagine if ginger ale had sex with a citrus soda. So if that's exactly what it is. It's known by Ale 8, Ale 81, and colloquially known as Ale 81 as well. But Ale 8 is what it's most commonly called. Been a week or so since I made a video. Allergies are murdering me. There was no winter in South Carolina, so it jumped up on me. And forgive me if while I talk I have a lozenge in my mouth. I'm trying to go 2 minutes without coughing while talking. Been very difficult as of late. Forgive me if I clear my throat once in a blue moon. So let's get after it. I'm going to round this out to eventually get to what's spinning. But as it is, this is a 5 fresh finds. And it'll make sense because I'm about to hit you with a plethora, yes, a plethora of vinyl records. And let's just get after it. The 5 fresh finds will make sense once I get to getting. Alright, so let me get what I was after. Here we go. Elliot Cruz, man, I missed your contest. I feel bad about that. One of his questions was autograph records and the story behind it. If you watch a recent video, I saw Truck Fighters live. They're Swedish garage rock, psychedelic tinged at time, proggy stoner metal. If that all makes sense, right? Anyways, just old school garage rock. So Veronica and I went. I copped a couple of LPs. This is 2013. All these are on Fuzzorama Records, which will give you a good indicator of what the band's all about, right? So there's an insert. This one is on, and by the way, these inner sleeves are the most staticky. This is on the translucent clear vinyl. All right. This one is Truck Fighters Mania. I want to say this is 2009, if I'm not mistaken. This is on just plain old delicious black vinyl, custom inner label. And this one is one of their jump-off ones from 2003. This is a split EP, also autographed, of the Truck Fighters versus Firestone. And the album, if I'm not mistaken, I have to look here. I'm having a brain fart right now. Fuzz Split of the Century. And this is the 10-year anniversary edition. If you have the original one of this, I want to say it was on yellow wax, and that record goes for like $50. This is not translucent, but outright transparent clear vinyl. And these are the labels that are on several of these, if you could see it. And Fuzzorama Records. I probably bypassed insert in one of these, but it's all right. Check them out if you like it. If you go back and watch that video, it's not the best video quality or audio quality. So I suggest probably just cutting straight into 4.5, 5 minutes in. Watch them shred for a bit, get an idea of the band, and then just move on forward. Or Google them. Otherwise, you just certainly had to watch one of my videos to figure out who they are. And the one record I wanted, I wish they had on vinyl, they didn't, is Gravity X. They did not have that one. And the opening band that night, to segue from that, if you discover new music, check out the Truck Fighters. It's some loud ruckus without just being like outright aggro, and some real good guitar play on that. Brings energy live. Like I say, I bet you wish it was a better recording, but at the end of the day, I was hanging out with friends, Veronica, Jeremy Stroud, a couple guys I cut hair for. We all met up at the show. It was really cool. I don't get to do that often. And the opening group was Valley of the Sun. And the interesting story behind this is I bought this record early on, was just holding on to it after they finished closing out the set, and the bands were autographed. And so I was like, hey, Veronica, while I was getting to know and talking to truck fighters, and they seemed like nice enough guys, all there was some kind of language barrier with them being Swedish, I asked my lady to autograph this. So she gave it, and both bands autographed this. So this is Valley of the Sun, autographed by Valley of the Sun, but also autographed by the Truck Fighters. So that's totes adorbs, as some people would say. And if I pulled out right here, this back of the hoodie, which I actually got one of these hoodies, is the cover for Gravity X. This is more for the website, if you guys check it out, for Fuzzorama If you're at all interested in this music, or want to start bands that are still doing their thing, but haven't broken through mainstream, feel free to check out both this band and Truck Fighters, which are on that label. So, translucent red vinyl. That takes care of that. I'm going to wrap that up as one of the finds. If that's under that umbrella. Now, that's kind of 3 bands. That's all encompassing. Whatever you call that. Count your numbers however you want to. Alright, here's a band that I was aware of that I don't see all the time. And I guess I just never cared to go out of my way to hunt online. I still like to buy so much of my stuff. I like the rapport and buying in person. I'm kind of spoiled here in Greenville, having the band I consider not the band, the record store I consistently gripe about being in third place, although I support and bought multiple records from this week. I'd be spoiled if that was my only record store in town. But between Pharmacy Records, Horizon, Cabin Floor Records, Kay's Used Books, a Second and Charles, a handful of Goodwills, I'm pretty spoiled here in Greenville. And I'm just a stone throws away from Charlotte, Noble Records, and Lunchbox, and Repo, and all that, and a myriad of record stores in Asheville, which is a little over an hour away. Anyways, that being said, one of the things that's just waiting to stumble into the into the wild, so to speak, is Direwolves. I want to say there's a undertone of jazz fusion, but this is contemporary psychedelic prog, if that makes sense. Some of their songs go long, evidenced by the B-side on this one is simply 2 tracks. And Paradisical Mind is the name of the album. You know who'd really like this? Psychedelic Snow, Sean. If you're watching this band is probably your cup of tea. I'd check them out. Had a little bit of rotation, and one of the reasons I was kind of trepidatious about hunting them down online, bands like this and the next band I'm about to show, they got massive catalogs. I want to say this is a 20-album band, if I'm not mistaken. So really easy to get lost in their catalog of this, and I guess I didn't do a good job. This one is called by the way, it's Direwolves, but if you could read on the spine, let me see if that actually works out. Probably not. Yeah, obviously not going to focus. But, there we go. Let's say that worked. Direwolves, also parentheses, Absolutely Perfect Brothers Band. This is Oceans of Green, and Feed and Tube Records is the name of the label. I want to say these are in black, but they got custom labels. And they are the labels where you're just like, oh, let me guess what side it is. You have to count the grooves. And on this one, once again, delicious black vinyl. I do like the custom labels integrate into something that ties into the album cover. So that's neat. And then, don't be a fucking cunt. Go in there, you stupid bitch. By the way, if you didn't know, Tourette's helps you get your records in gingerly without damaging anything. Just a little tidbit if you did not know. Alright, the next band I'm going to get at in this 5 Fresh Finds is a band I just put off, didn't want to buy new, but still dig the shit out of, the OCs. And so I found a stack of OCs at Pharmacy Records, once again, my go-to spot. And apparently I missed 4 or 5 records. Someone traded in, was down on their luck or whatever it might have been, and traded in their collection. This band is 20 albums deep, a handful of EPs as well. This is kind of like a Ty Segall situation. I'm having a brain fart right now with the gentleman who always wears shorts and has like a clear SG cranked up way high and curly hair. I could picture him in my mind, but for whatever reason, I'm forgetting his name right now. But the lead singer and guitarist of this group is extremely prolific and plays with a couple different bands. They've had turnover in their group at certain times. They've had a female drummer. They've run dual drums at one time. So some lineup changes. But a really cool band. For whatever reason, I don't know why. This is at 45 speed. This one is an odd entrances. I like how that it's not an odd entrance, or it's not odd entrances. I like that it's unnecessarily pluralized, as is a weird exits. This one right here is wasted my crease break. The world won't end. A gatefold, and if I'm not mistaken, mirrors the other one and the same. There's inserts in this, etc. Things that are either going to make or break it. I think I described them well. Curly hair, once again, seen in shorts. This gentleman right here at the tip is the lead singer, and if I could see his name, would be really dope. John Dwyer. There we go. Guitar, vocals, mellotron, synths, moisturizer. Oh, he plays moisturizer, flute, and percussion. But really cool band, super dope. Really dig them. And then I think I have these turned out the same way. And this one is peculiar because this is also at 45 speed. It makes me wonder that if it was on 33 speed, because you just put it on a single album, which I prefer. But not the end of the world. Like I say, really dig this band. It's kind of like King Gizzard, man. I dove into that King Gizzard, and now I got almost their entire catalog. And I guess the reason why I'm showing this, without even describing it, art punk meets old school garage rock based out of San Francisco. You definitely hear undertones of a lot of surfer riffs. The songs are somewhat simplistic, but not repetitive. Like when you hear it, it's not like some mind-blowing guitar shreds. Well, there is some like fuzzy melt-your-face type stuff. But it's not like you're just listening to it like some Yngwie or Steve Vai thing where you're just like, oh, wow, that's technical mastery. How do you even accomplish that? But for just kind of being like surfer riff-based music, it's pretty impressive that it's not same-soundy. It's not like, and I'm not bashing on the Ramones because I freaking love the Ramones. But, you know, a lot of Ramones are like, 1, 2, 3, 4, same song, same song. I don't get the vibe from the OCs in that way. And this is all going to count under one because I'm just bashing right through this. This is Orc. These are the 4 records I have. And one of the things about the vinyl community why I'm showing these 4 is one, because I feel like it merits that I think this band's dope. So I just went balls deep into it. And so if you like my musical taste in any way whatsoever, then maybe you will like this as well. I've turned you on a new band. But also a beautiful thing about the VC is that you can also absorb information. So if anyone is about the OCs and their catalog is that prolific, this is my 3rd of 4 albums, you'll see the next. Maybe you point me in the direction of where to go next if I'm going to pick up 1 or 2 albums and potentially buy something online and go out of my way. Where do you do that in a 20-plus album catalog? So, I usually prefer gatefolds if it's enough material. Change of topic. So smooth. I usually prefer a gatefold, but if you're going to do the double disc, nice, thick, huge spine, room for both, fits really well, lyric sheets, picture sleeves, all the accoutrements, nice, smooth, glossy interior, and then, once again, I believe, yes, these are at 45 speed, so, pretty cool stuff. And, moving on, this is the 4th of the same band. The OCs with a giant hype sticker, overkill hype sticker, kind of like that. This is embossed, kind of flat black with red chrome. Pretty cool packaging right here. This is Smote Reverser, or is it Smoke Reverser? It looks like Smote. like I smoted him. But once again, not a gatefold. Looks like it would. This is some kind of Cthulhu type crazy character, or fictitious monster. Pretty rad shit. By the way, if you guys like kind of gritty, gnarly videos that fit the music, some weird adventures. There's a serial killer one. There's an adventure of like two mischievous bros at a strip club. I don't want to give away that music video. That's a peculiar one. But yeah, this band's pretty rad. Cool way to discover them through music videos. They're still cranking out music videos. I know some people have more or less given up on that, but they have not. Once again, picture sleeves. They double them up. And I believe these are actually color. So colored vinyl kind of looks like this is, you're not going to see it on camera here, but this is translucent but not transparent. Light passes through it on kind of this way more detailed in person. This vomit splatter kind of gets lost here on camera, but pretty dope stuff. A band I've really been diving into. I'll see you on the B-side, back in 2 shakes of A Lamb's Tail. I'm back, quicker than you can even tell. Cheers to you once again. Rock and roll, let's get after it. So, man, not to just keep on harping on the same local record store, but damn, he's had some heaters, man. If you go into Pharmacy Records, I mean, they could disappear as quick as they come. There's some turnover in that place. I just went in there, and they had a collection of, like, cheesy AOR meets cheesy hair metal meets prog, jazz fusion, and then quality 70s and 80s metal. So 6 big bins. By the time I got there, 2 of them were completely empty. He was condensing them down, and there was like 4 getting a little bit looser. So I found some cool finds. I was actually talking to Aaron, the metal theologian, on the phone, seeing if he needed anything. I kind of got some of the heaters a week ago and came back when he officially put stuff out. Got some gaps, but anyways, that's neither here nor there. And also super cool because I landed a piece of trivia that Aaron, the metal theologian, didn't know. And that dude knows his metal, so I was pretty pleased with that. Finds on that coming in the future. You know me, man. I procrastinate or life gets in the way. I still need to show the Noble Records finds from a month ago, but it is what it is. Long and short, the heaters I found. I'm not gung-ho after chasing the Beatles. I grew up with the Beatles and I listened to so much of it that I don't want to say it doesn't have an effect on me, but I'm just going to wait for good presses. And I'm not a sucker for buying some 50th anniversary split on 17 LPs, pay $100 anniversary edition, 200 billion gram vinyl records, etc. But when something comes through, it slips through the cracks, and it's in good condition, OG, like these Obi strips, I'm going to do that. And the original owner of this had these double bagged, which is pretty cool. So maybe that will show some more clearly. So I got Yellow Submarine. It has the original Japanese inner sleeves, all the accoutrements, quality, really quality condition. And here's a tidbit I've said once in a video, and then someone said that they'd have never noticed before. If you guys didn't know, the Apple label, the A sides are whole apples, and when you're halfway through the record, you are on the B side. So there's a little tidbit if you didn't know about Apple. And then, by the way, this Obi is off, and it's so tight I don't want to damage it, so it's just kind of snug in there. I don't know how I can ever get it back on, right? So, I mean, when you find one, maybe you get lucky. So once again, in the same realm that I kind of went, the OC says one find, all 4 of those just count as one band, you get it. I grabbed this Yellow Submarine, and I also grabbed this super clean, dead mint Obi strip revolver. Once again, double bagged, really well taken care of, true, high gloss, not a single scratch, damn near dead mint Obi strip Beatles. So, super pleased with that. And you know, I can't be mad at a twofer. And you really can't be mad when you end up with a threefer? Threefer? That's a real thing. Let's call it a real thing. So there it is. Hunky dory, good times. I don't think I need to go on and, you know, pontificate about the Beatles. If you don't know, you might want to catch up. I don't think I need to own their whole catalog. There's some stuff I left behind. A really clean copy of Sgt. Pepper. I just listened to it so much as a kid. I spent a good bit of money that day. So I left it behind. I also found some other Obi strips that are coming with videos in the near future. Let's get after it. I'm just at like 20 minutes right now. I'm freaking killing it, right? Try not to go too long. But I have fun with these videos. And I like to think I'm entertaining. If you stick around, fucking stick around. If not, no harm, no foul. So, I didn't start the video with this because some people are negative Nancy's and they don't even want to watch the video if they found out it's a contest entry. So I banged off those 5 fresh finds because that is one criteria of a contest for my friend Brad H2 Vinyl. And this is just simple. Show 5 fresh finds. 5 things he'd never shown in the past. Just did that. Actually, went overboard. One of the reasons I showed OCs, Brad's a fan. And the other 3 things, or 3 things just makes the other thing, show 3 albums that have narration, overdubbing, communication, things along the lines. You get it. I'm going to hammer these out real quick, because freaking why not? So this is not it. I collect this series, the Cruisin' series, mainly because it's cooler than put on Spotify or Pandora or whatever, and you get a cool mix of music that syncs up to a year. You got Ernie K. Doe, Mother-in-Law, Jive 5, My True Story, Rick and Dee Dee's on here, Del Shannon. I don't want to get on that. That's not the point. And then my dad had these on cassette when I was a kid. I like cars. So when I saw this Cruisin', this is the fresh find. This is one of the Noble Records find. I need to get around to making that video. I apologize. It will happen one of these days. But he has a massive dollar bin section. He has a lot of good finds and heaters, but a big chunk of his place is all the stuff that comes with his big bulk buys. And he has a big dollar bin section. I hope this comes in clear. I'm going at this blind. Really rad album covers. It's not the same Cruisin' series. It's completely different. I don't think it's really important to show the center label. But there it is. Kind of gnarly album covers. Very pop art of the time. And then they tie in a negative aspect. I don't know if this lady's hitting him up and he's being ugly. Or if they are, maybe this is progressive and they're an interracial couple back in the 60s. But he's like, what this community needs is economic improvement and self-help? Is he just a racist redhead? Just griping at a black lady? I don't know what the background on that is. But something about the Herald, so it makes me feel like, was it the Miami Herald? Well, it wouldn't be, is it Chicago Tribune? I don't know where Herald would be, because it's also snowing, so it's definitely not Miami. But this is the random tidbit. I don't know if this would be Seattle. Seattle known for its snow? Because what's cool about this, and I'll get to the narration. One, I hate that the Green Bay Packers lost to the Rams. Green Bay, Rams 27-23. In a fictitious world, the Rams beat the Packers. What a terrible day in this cartoon land. All right, rambles. Yeah, of all the things I could have talked about with music, I'm rambling about this dumb piece of shit. The narration on this, and why this doesn't really make sense. You're talking about the Herald, wherever that syncs up. The Vietnam War's off-the topic. Got the Green Bay Packers in L.A. Certainly not snowing in L.A. Maybe this is Green Bay. Who knows? Who cares? Blah, blah, blah. This is literally a neat little tidbit, because this is a hour-long, well, not quite hour-long snippet of a day's section in the radio. So DJs, voiceovers, commercials, song segueing. This is a time capsule to yesteryear, and it would have been featuring Pat O'Day of KJR in Seattle. Side 1 is Psychotic Reaction with the Count 5. You got Born a Woman, Sandy Posey. The Safari's Wipeouts on there. You got commercials for his 66 Lincoln Continental. You got the Ballad of the Green Beret, Barry Sadler. When a Man Loves a Woman, Percy Sledge. Commercial for Lincoln Continental again, slightly different. Ends with Sweet Pea by Tommy Rowe. A pretty cool album. This is an absolute time capsule. I dig the album covers. Anyways, I rambled about that. Too long. So be it. Another gentleman in the vinyl community. Maybe I'll be able to sneak in the contest entry. Chris Prof. Alright. He's got a contest going on for 200, now 250 plus subscribers. And if I'm not mistaken, one of the questions is a favorite album cover you can look at, you can gaze at. I find this album cover, it's been a while since I showed this. So this also goes into the stuff you've never shown or haven't shown in a very long time. For Brad H2 Vinyl, his 350 contest. Sneak it in there. Like I say, this is my crafty. It's actually a contest entry video. This Green Hornet is this looks like it's super dope and of 1972. This is actually released on, says 2 complete radio shows, 1973, Green Hornet Inc. But this is a snippet from back in the day on the radio broadcast, even before the Bruce Lee era. So this is all sorts of terrible. Everyone who voices it over and does the narration on this are cliches. It's Irish cop, it's Italian thugs, it's everything you assume it would be. It's super cheesy. What I love is that these, I mean, dude, if you pulled around the back corner and this dude was clenched fist with a mask, you know, pistol gripped, and this Asian guy just looks like he's ready to jump over the hood, like, dude, I'll bury the body. I freaking love this album cover. And for everyone who expects me to go full car bro, I guess I'll just satisfy the need on that. The full car bro nonsense on this one is, you can tell by the headlights and not having a vertical marker right here, that this would be a 73 and 74. They changed the headlight configuration once again when they did that more prolifically. In earlier generations, the car to be had for AMC Hornet out of Kenosha, Wisconsin, would be the SC360, followed by the SST. And by that, they dropped that by this year. The top model for this would be the Hornet X. And you could tell that by this line stripe right here, that this is a Hornet X, which I want to say the top engine in that year, right when the muscle car movement was dying, was a 360 V8. But random nonsense maybe nobody cares about. But I think this album cover just pops and is just all sorts of intriguing. And as a little kid, or having a little kid's mind at times, I could almost look at this and kind of create my own story in my head, which would be far better than the actual contents of this record. Search your local dollar bins. Maybe you'll find that. The last thing, 360, we're hanging out for less than one record. It's the Warriors. Narration perfectly evidenced by this back cover. If you don't know the lady from this, random facts, was in this movie, was just below the eyes and down, who was narrating throughout the movie, also narrates on this album, this soundtrack. And over there is the original soundtrack, but this is the soundtrack and score on Waxwork Records. Pretty gnarly pressing. This one right here has the Warriors spray paint on a wall. The other one has the Warriors back patch logo. But the narration would be her speaking throughout. Randomness. What I was getting at is that this lady was also the voice for Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego? For any of you 30-somethings might have remembered that. Learning is fun. That's the random shit for this video. It is what it is. Oh, last question. I didn't forget. My mind's a steel trap. The steeliest of steel traps. 1350. 3 things that have narration on it. 5 fresh finds. Anybody could do that. Stupid easy. Be a participant in the vinyl community. Be a friend. And the 0 would be something that you'd like to have, but you don't have. Brad, forgive me. I've actually met Josh. I've met Dave Grohl. Eagles of Death Metal. Clutch. Throttle Rod. Through the band Throttle Rod, I met a bunch of individuals. But I've met Queens of the Stone Age. I've seen them in concert. I've met them outside of musical capacity. And I had them on CD. Those CDs have since gone to the wayside, stolen by an ex-girlfriend. To this day, I have never replaced them. I own no Queens of the Stone Age on vinyl. So the zero that I do not have, that I potentially would like to have in the future, is I own no Queens of the Stone Age. Please forgive me. I know it's your favorite band. Anyways, rock on. I hope everyone's having a good day. Y'all be well. Take care. I'm cutting this out at just about a half hour. Can't feel bad at that. That's like freaking, I don't know, that's like 15, 20 records. If you have a problem with that being a half hour, it is what it is. I gave less than 2 minutes. Told some random stories. Maybe made you laugh. Try not to swear too much. Fucking A, right? Love you. Take care. Y'all stay beautiful.